Okay, so I've done, I've watched and reviewed Amber's post-verdict interview several times. Sorry, my camera's just shaking. I'm just trying to hold it in place. I don't know if it'll work. Hopefully it stays there. So I've watched it several times. And there are several parts of that interview that irks me. Several moments that irk me, personally. There's honestly just a personal reaction. I've stopped some segments. I've put together 5 so far. I think I might go through it again. I have opinions about some other things about her interview that just bother me, just in her narrative, the way, like, some of the word choices that she uses, her tone of voice, the inflection of some of the things that she says. And I'm gonna review it again, because this is 1 of 5, and I do have a few other parts about the interview, things that she says that I want to really be thoughtful of, and I have to respond to it. There's something about it. I just have to respond to it because it just seemed really inappropriate. And I know that today was the final judgment of the verdict, which is great. Apparently, Judge A was like even more no nonsense than before. So there will be no settlement as far as it looks right now, which is wonderful. I love it, but that doesn't mean it's over. So I think Amber has 30 days to file her appeal, but she has to post the bond for the judgment. And I'm not sure exactly how this is going to go for, like, on Johnny's side, but that has nothing to, like, that's not part of this video right now. But I also had at the end of the 1.5, we're just going to talk about the interview because I have very personal responses that I wanted to share. It's on my TikTok, so I just put it all together and I shared it here. I want to share it here. And the final part of the video is that I wanted to share was there was some new elevator footage that was leaked. I'm not sure where or who it came from. It doesn't matter. It was first brought on to Popcorn Planet and obviously shared amongst the Tiki Talk Talks and other things. So I had a very visceral reaction to that, and I wanted to amalgamate it to like put at the back end of this 5, just to kind of round out the video. And then so this will be like the part 1 through 5, and then there might be a part 2, 6 through probably like 6 through 7 or 8 or something like that. Like, I just have a couple more things that I wanted to go over with the interview, but for now, 1 through 5, and then new evidence reaction. So hope you guys like it. If you have any comments, comment below and do the subscribey things. Talk to you guys later.
I know he promised it. I testified to this. I'm not a good victim, I get it. I'm not a likable victim. I'm not a perfect victim. But when I testified, I asked the jury to just see me.
I'm sorry. What the fuck is a perfect victim? What's a likable victim? Your story has to be true and credible. That's all that fucking matters. That's all that fucking matters. There's no perfect victim. There's a non-likable victim is one that is lying, therefore is not a victim. And quite frankly, you're the one that said you have never referred to yourself on the stand. You never referred to yourself as a victim. So stop using that term. I'm sorry, this comment really just fucking irritates the crap out of me. There's no such thing as a perfect victim. You just have to tell your story and tell the truth. That's it. That is it. That is it. So don't be afraid to tell your story. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to be likable. You just need to be truthful. Don't be afraid to speak up.
Never hit you. Never. Is that a lie?
Yes, it is.
He says he's never struck any woman. His lawyers argued at trial. None of his other prior relationships, not one woman has come forward and said he physically hit them. You were the only one.
Look what happened to me when I came forward. Would you?
So are you trying to infer that his exes, either Vanessa Paradis, the mother of his children, Winona Ryder, Kate Moss, a number of other women that he's been with, you're saying that they all have had to have been abused by Johnny, but too cowardly or weak to come forward because they were afraid of the culture's wrath? I'm using your words in your headline. Are you actually inferring that? That it must have happened to them because it happened to you? And I'm quoting that because, girl, it didn't happen. I'm sorry. I don't believe a fucking word that comes out of your mouth. But are you actually inferring that? That is bullshit. That is arrogant. That's fucking insensitive and just fucking wrong.
All day I passed from 3, 4, sometimes 6 blocks, city blocks lined with people holding signs saying burn the witch, death to Amber. After 3.5 weeks, I took the stand and saw just a courtroom packed full of Captain Jack Sparrow fans.
How do you know they were Captain Jack Sparrow fans? They could have been other lawyers. They could have been Willy Wonka fans. They could have just been Johnny Depp fans. They could have just been spectators outside saying, hey, I want to see a celebrity court. They could have been anything. But maybe they were just supportive of Johnny just because of, his testimony or his witnesses or just the story or the fact that they believe that men too can be victims. But, that wasn't his fault. He didn't hire those people to come in. The reason that they're there is to support Johnny. If you were being truthful, if somebody was, sure that you were the one telling the truth, I'm sure that the word would have spread and you would have had more supporters. So it's not his fault. And that's what you're implying. And it's really irksome. Just own it that you were not likable. The reason that there may have been more people in the crowd. And I do sympathize, it can't be good to sit up there and not have anybody that either looks familiar or seems supportive of you. I get that could be kind of intimidating, kind of daunting and really disheartening, but it's not his
How that felt.
This was the most humiliating and horrible thing I've ever been through. I have never felt more removed from my own humanity. I felt less than human.
Let's go back.
Okay. I want to make sure that I'm not being insensitive because I am a recipient of SA on multiple occasions when I was unconscious. And was told about it from the perpetrator the next day. That's a whole other thing. But I'm really trying not to be insensitive here. How is she? Assuming she's talking about the trial, how is this the most dehumanizing you've ever felt? Being in front of cameras or in the courtroom talking about these alleged scenarios and being accused of libel, and being proven that you're being defamatory of your ex-husband. How is this the most humiliating part of your story? Most humiliating part and dehumanizing part of your entire existence, of your entire life? Because I'm sorry, being violated and getting those things happen to you that you've described, that has to have been most dehumanizing. And I'm not saying what is what, I'm really not. But how is this the most dehumanizing? I don't understand.
Of the trial was meant to cast aspersions on who I am as a human, my credibility, to call me a liar in every way you can. And
That was the trial. It was a credibility contest.
and
That was it.
this is another one of the examples where if you pull back and you think about it, I shouldn't have to have donated it in an effort to be believed. I shouldn't have had to earmark the entirety of that in order to have.
Okay. No one asked you to donate the money. You could have taken the money that you say you didn't extort out of him, but there are also some stipulations on your divorce settlement, which I'm not even going to go into. But you could have just taken that money and left. You didn't have to pretend you're some sort of, like, I don't know, donating saint, like a Mother Teresa type of scenario. Like, you promised money to kids and you didn't donate it. Okay, you didn't have to go on national television and say $7 million in total was donated to ACLU and Children's Hospital. Donated means gave, money paid, okay? You didn't pay it. No one, like, when you say you didn't have to earmark it to be believed, earmark it for what? You didn't know you were being sued. This was years before you were going to be sued. So, like, I don't know where that earmarking thing came from, but you had that money well before Johnny sued you. You could have just paid it and then be done with it. Or you could have just not said anything about it and then just whatever. But that wouldn't have come into court if you didn't lie about it. So it wasn't about you earmarking it to be believed. You lied. You were caught lying. That's why we didn't believe you. That's why the jury didn't believe you. When I say we, I mean the public, obviously. But the jury didn't believe you because you were caught out flat out in a lie. That's what that was. You did not have, no one said fucking donate the money. That was your choice. You chose to say that. You chose to intend that, and you say that you still intend to do that. Go fly a kite. Like, for real, like, just shut up about it. It's done. You lied. You ain't got no money to pay, okay? So I don't know what the hell you're talking about. Ugh, this one bugs me.
Take out while my husband's away in the elevator. Like, that really bothers me. Really bothers me.
At this point, nothing that comes out really should be shocking in regards to her negative character. This really, I'm sure, pissed a lot of people off. Yes, damn it, I'm mad again. This is triggering because, and it ticks me off just a little bit more, because you made him sound like some sort of unreasonably jealous, angry, like insecure, then like out of control, drunken, drug-fueled cage fighter that you were like always coming after you, that you were afraid of. But really, you were humiliating him. Most likely he knew about it because he suspected all this shit, but he loved you so much, and you humiliated him over and over and over again. And what really kills me about these elevator footage videos and photos is that you knew exactly what you were doing, and you were in a private elevator, but in a public space, essentially, because there are cameras. And you knew there were cameras. And you didn't want to hide it. You wanted to make him look like a fool. And that is what's so duplicitous and manipulating and conniving and disgusting about you. He didn't, and you know, I don't know the ins and outs of your relationship, no one does, but, and I'm sure that he's made mistakes, whatever, but this is a good man. And all he wanted to do was love you and care for you and just be your guy. And you treated him like shit, like a stepping stone for your next move. And you humiliated him in his home, in his building, in his home, in front of his neighbors, and allowed yourself and your friends to freeload off of him and then make him sound like he was crazy when he confronted you about your ex, your potential lovers, and like maybe he made some snide remarks, but you made it look like you kept denying and denying and denying. And in court, you denied and had an answer for everything. Everyone's lying except for you. It's out there. I don't know who leaked these photos. I don't really care, but these are out there. Your credibility is shot. You're just a horrid, horrid person. And you did this to somebody who didn't, like, no one deserves this. But it was just, why? For what? For what?